Okay, so this is the PSoC design course. This session is streamed to YouTube. Don't worry, I'm not taking picture of you anywhere. But in case you are, you have questions, you maybe have heard on the internet, but now you have been warned. All right, so this is the PSoC design course. Kind of different from, say, regular courses in the sense that most of the stuff happens in Frankfurt, which is also our double degree program there. I will be visiting Frankfurt on the week after the Easter holidays. So basically, that's when the material for the lectures, theory, and the laboratory tutorials are done. You're welcome to join me. There's room for, say, for every one of you. Max 5 students there. And for that one, we have the short-term mobility grant from Metropolia you can apply. So basically, I think on the international office, the information there's how to apply for it, and it just needs my signature and information about this course. It's 200 euro, and it's paid after the trip, and it does cover, say, almost the flights. Almost, because this is only a couple of weeks to the trip. So the prices for the airfare has been going up. I think that currently it's somewhere between 200 and 300. And then, of course, the accommodation is up to you. Frankfurt is a big city, and you can find very cheap accommodation. You can actually maybe okay, I could actually hook you up with some of the students who are going to attend this course in Frankfurt side and see if they can arrange something. It's up to you in any ways. Last time I warned about not to take any apartments near the railway station. And of course, the person who actually joined me took it exactly there, so I'm not warning anymore. Those are the cheapest region of the Frankfurt for good reason. For good reason. It has a bad reputation. Okay, but anyway, so basically some dates. Let's see. Did I actually not make any timing here? Not yet. So the timing of the course goes something like this. So today, this is just a kick-off, and I will give you the hardware you need, at least part of it. Then nothing happens for a couple of weeks. So next week, Wednesday, we don't have anything. The following week, Wednesday, I'm in Frankfurt. Okay. So we will continue this on, let's see. It's April. 11? Was it? Yes. April 11. And that's basically just a time for you to ask questions, and I will be here present to answer those. So, instructed lab, maybe that would be a good name for it. No, instructor present. And then basically the next until the May Day, something like that, before May Day. The last session will be on April. Oh, actually, there's a last is marked on the. Okay, we can do that if needed. So that will be actually May 2nd. Last session. Okay. But anyways, as I said, all the material will be done during my trip to Frankfurt. And there basically I have the okay, April 3 to 7, I think, from Tuesday to Saturday. So I have those lab 1 to 5 tutorials, which are going to be also on my video repo. Not mine, it's YouTube. Again, my YouTube channel and my YouTube repository. So basically, based on both that material, you can do the exercises. So that I think the first deadline for the labs will be, first lab deadline is April 7. Okay. But that's only because of I want that the Frankfurt students know how to return the reports before I leave, so I can check that everyone knows the rules on my class. We can actually set up the deadline for the first lab, for example, after that one, so maybe April 13 would be the good for lab 1 return on Metropolia. And after that, basically, those are the common deadlines for each exercise. Common deadlines. That'll actually, I'll figure out those while I'm in Frankfurt. Well, I need to also discuss with those guys there. Okay, good. So that's how the timing goes. Somewhere around May 9, maybe, would be the deadline for all the exercises and also the there's a small project, but let's see. Well, before say May 30 is the final deadline for everything. Okay. And then you will be done. Okay, let's go through the that material. Okay, how many of you actually are planning to go to Frankfurt? You are, yes. Do you already have the tickets?
No, I don't have the tickets. I was waiting for it.
Oh shoot! Oh yeah, of course. Did you check the e-bookers? What is the ticket prices nowadays?
I don't check.
Okay. Check it out. It should be still, say, quite affordable ticket, hopefully. Okay, so and then do the application on there's supposed to be information on the international office, the OMA workspace there, so information space. Okay, and yeah. All right, so anyone else fancy a trip to Frankfurt? It's fun. It's really a nice place. It's a lot of fun trip. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Lots of fun, intensive week from Tuesday to Saturday. Oh, yeah, warning about the funny places in Frankfurt. But Frankfurt itself, it's actually the most international city of Germany. So it's it's like going to Helsinki, but bigger. A lot bigger. Okay, good. So time-wise, I will come back to that if you need it. But anyways, I'll show you some of the that material I have there on the internet. So basically, the website, it's the website. You found it probably. I used the OMA to basically send you a message which has the links. One link to this video stream and another one to the this website, and then this also marked in the OMA workspace for this course, the only tool. I use the OMA only for communication, nothing else. So everything what matters happens on this Google website, site google.com. Yeah, so basically what we'll be doing here, I need to also remove Kimmo Sauren. Unfortunately, he had to leave this course because he was kind of getting a little bit too much offload for this spring. So nothing personal against you. Just that he's overbooked a little bit. But anyways, so we have 5 exercises and a project. So first one is fundamentals, meaning how to use these nice PSoC 1 development kits, which I will borrow to you. Each of these sessions are also streamed, as I said. So if you cannot, if you cannot attend the physically the Frankfurt, you can still be present, kind of, by following the stream. It actually works. I tested it a couple of times already, 2 years ago. Last year, last academic year. So it works pretty well, actually. And then, in any case, there will be the recordings there appearing about, say, half an hour, 1 hour after the each session that you can take a look afterwards. There are some useful links, like how to get started with this PSoC, Cypress PSoC systems, and also some installation problems. Of course, those installation problems actually appeared on Windows 7. Windows 10 is okay, but if you're running on Windows 7, you might actually having these problems, but there are solutions also. It has something to do with this SVG, which is a product of Adobe. It's a viewer for some of that, some of this graphical interface. Yeah, I will actually do quite a lot of on the whiteboard, and the pictures will be up there after the course, and then the most important parts, the exercise. So each exercise actually have a few tasks, and You will go through these tasks, and then at the end there's what I'm actually expecting. Link to your PSoC project files, and also link to your main.c routine that anyone can comment. So that's the feedback channel. If you had mistakes, or if you couldn't do everything and just have to return a half-completed task. So I can give you pointers what to add there to make it everything either running or nothing to work, either or. But anyways, so basically the project files should be complete, and if you follow those rules, follow the tasks, I will have exactly the same setup on my desktop, on physical desktop, and I can easily then check your code. That's the easiest way for me. I just copy the project and extract it on the download folder and just run the code on my own setup. Easy. And if it runs as required, then you will get automatically some points depending on what your main.c looks like. So basically, all program files that you touch must be documented appropriately. Minimum require. Each file starts with the commented area with a description, author, date, and course ID. So that's the minimum. But of course, the fundamental principle, anyone with some software background can read and understand what the code does. Okay. And here, actually, this is a hint. If you use, say, descriptive names for all added modules and your own functions and variables, then it increases the readability. Okay, and then, well, yeah, zip, upload it to any file service, and then basically create a link to the zip file, and that's the link is what you're returning, not the zipped files. I'm not interested about the files. They will then just consume some file system on some virtual machine, maybe. But anyways, I found, and then basically this way it gives you more flexibility of where to put the code. If you are familiar with the GitHub, you can actually just give me the link to that project on the GitHub. Then it's easy to download and test it on my computer. And yeah, provide link also to your main.c. The easiest way of doing it to make a Google document, Google Doc, share it so that anyone can comment and copy paste the code there. That's the easiest way of doing it. Because I want to give you feedback on every single exercise. All right, and then the second most important is the return form. This is just a Google form. Okay, you need to put your email address here. This is for several reasons, but of course your name, which exercise, link to your report, and link to the main.c, and this is the reason why I asked your email, one of the reasons. If you want to have a receipt that you have returned the exercise to yourself, then basically click that one. The other reason is that, well, not in this PSoC course, but in some courses I use the same method on practically all of my courses, and in some courses people kind of forget all their names and don't put any identification whatsoever, or use just nicknames on the identification. I don't know anyone. I don't know many of you by the name, by the way, although we have been discussing quite a lot. I have really terrible memory on names. I remember JP because there's only 2 letters on it. Okay. Yeah, but anyways, that's my fault. That's my fault. But okay, so I'm really terrible on names. But I'm not doing anything about it. So that's my thing. But please, email address and name. Okay, so that's how you return the link. Right, let's take a quick look at the. Okay, so there's fundamentals. Then there are these timers. So first exercise is basically to get inside of the PSoC, the development environment. It has its own. It's made by Cypress engineers, and they have been buying some small companies to actually have some some of technology there too. So it works. It's not the best working environment what you have seen, but it's basically the only one you can actually program these devices, because they actually have it's kind of mixed device which has this microcontrolling unit, but it's surrounded with a matrix of general purpose programmable logic and programmable analog circuits. Basically analog circuits with programmable switch matrix to do all kind of stuff there, which actually means that you can generate devices like A to D converters, D to A, different communication channels, LCD drivers or whatever by software, but actually it's implemented partly in a hardware. So it doesn't take any of these computing resources, for example, to do this SPI to I2C or one wire or just WART, the universal receive transmit. Whoa, what happened? Did I touch the? I lost the video. Strange. Yeah. I didn't see that coming. All right, let's see. Extend. Duplicate? No. Extend. Where is the switch? Back in business. That was strange. Good. So I was talking about what to do with this system. So basically, you can make all sorts of analog and digital functions with the hardware, but it's of course it's controlled by software. So it's kind of a lot of registers, special registers to control those, and to for the development there is a graphical toolkit you can actually that makes it possible to utilize all of these devices in a kind of nice way that it makes sense. Okay. So, yeah, yeah, that's about the fundamentals. But on the second time, we actually on the second lab there's a timers, and on timers it's also let's see what there is on the timers. Okay, timers and PWM, and there we actually will be one task is LED and timer interrupt. So how to run a LED, a simple LED output, but actually use a timer interrupt to do it. Kind of basic kind of thing that you should be able to do with any microcontroller. The PSoC has its own kind of the way of handling the interrupts, because there's this automatic code generation, and you need to make some, hard-coded things to the this automatically coded the code. Okay, and we have pin input with the interrupt and then PWM. So quite fundamental things on the microcontroller what to do. So PWM actually is there's an exercise with the servo motors. Okay, the next one, data acquisition, a little bit not that heavy version as in my sensor interfaces course. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy duty kind of thing. Here we simply have an A to D converter and get first this A to D converter gives something, and then basically doing the down sampling of that data. So basically, you will let the A to D converter run freely, and then do the decimation of this or resampling of the data with the timer sampling. So part of that is same as in that exercise on sensors and interfaces, but I kind of took off a lot of stuff there. Yeah, like the analog filter. Yeah, among others, yes. The fourth exercise is about serial interfaces, and here the serial interfaces, I think I got only, yeah, this is quite straightforward assignment. There is a one-wire temperature sensor, have the PSoC to actually read that one and print that one to LCD, and then send it to USB serial converter, which is on different PSoC board. This is basically just a bridge. So there's a serial, the standard serial line here, and then just bridge, and then to PC. So that's that fourth exercise. SPI and I2C are on one exercise. So basically continuing from the previous, which already had the one-wire sensor, PSoC, LCD, USB, and that one, add a couple of other sensors, one on I2C bus and another one on SPI bus. Okay, kind of makes sense. So after that, you basically handle the most important functions on the on PSoC chip, and basically then you would do a project. I have a project topic already thought, but it needs just a writing it down there. It's a good project. Is not easy. Okay, so these 5 days and those 5 exercises, that's basically about 60% of the course. About 60%. And the rest, 40%, will be on that project work. Something practical. I hope. Yeah. So when I'm in Germany, I will also start putting these deadlines and other more detailed information about the course in here. All right. So, any questions? Yes. 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 Good. What I will do now, I will just give you or borrow these sets if you need them. Some of you actually already have one. And then we will be using this laboratory. I noticed that there are actually 2 labs reserved for the course, but I think we will fit here quite well. And I will arrange a box here somewhere that you can collect the rest of those parts. You will be using some sensors, and I didn't have enough of them, so now I know just about how many sensors I will order more. And I will be actually, well, this is a nice, good box. Maybe I will leave this one right here on, with the sign on PSoC course that you can come and pick the set of sensors. You don't need those, you already have them. Yeah, from the previous course. You need actually the servo. Yeah, yes. But anyways, you will find those from this box next week. Yeah. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, what I could do is to now stop this streaming and recording and just give you those boxes, and yep, that's it for today.